Okay, thank you so much. Jean, how do you pronounce your full name? I just want to make sure I don't screw up.
Jean-Claude Junqua.
No, it's not Jean?
No, because my first name is in two parts. It's Jean-Claude.
Jean is a French?
Yes, it's French.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Write in English. Okay, write in English and spell so I can spell it for me in like English way so I can pronounce it correctly.
So it's maybe in
Okay.
an English way.
Okay. Okay. One second. In a private chat, if you can type in.
Okay.
I want to make sure I pronounce it correctly. You know? Let's see what you got. Jane, Claude, Junqua?
Yes. Jean-Claude Junqua.
Jean-Claude is one word, like when you pronounce it, Jean-Claude.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's one word.
You put a space. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, that's true. I can, okay. Well, because, usually there's a space in it. But...
Yeah. But spell it for me the way I can pronounce it correctly. That's what I was said.
Yes.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah. Okay. It will be like this. Jean-Claude Junqua.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
We got it. So I have been told I'm a good student. However, I still have to prove it to you. So.
You did.
Okay. So, Jean-Claude, you are an author and founder of CE2 Innovate.
Yes.
And you are 64 years young man.
Yeah, 63 actually. I made a mistake.
Oh, you made a mistake?
Yes.
Okay, you are only allowed to do one mistake. You are already done, okay?
Yes.
Okay, 63. Okay. So, how many people in your team?
There is me right now, and I, bring people depending on the project that I work with.
Mm-hmm. How many projects you are working on right now?
4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Yes.
You can handle all of them yourself, or you have a team helping you?
No, I do it. I do a lot of advisory strategy, so it's not kind of necessarily kind of 5 days a week kind of job. So yeah.
And because you are advising to startups and they usually don't have money, how do you get compensated?
I work with startup and large corporation. I have projects with large corporation, and startups. It depends. It can be equity, it can be retainer, depending on where the startups are. In their journey.
I'm just curious, how many startups you have equity right now? Even a 1% does not really matter. I just wanted to see how many projects you have done.
I think right now I'm working with 3 actually.
No, you're working with 3 right now in last 2 years, 5 years. How many places you have the equity altogether?
I work with maybe 10 or something like that.
10? It takes a long time to actually.
It depends. I think it's sometimes the startups are acquired. Sometimes they continue their journey for quite some time. Most often, I think, in my experience, they are looking for an exit and are acquired kind of early on.
So tell me the story of a startup where you made the most money from the equity from any one startup where you have done.
The one startup, for example, was a spin-off of a university, developing technology and, try to, create a market. And had trouble to basically create the market, and was bought kind of early on as a technology acquisition by a large company. So that's kind of often kind of a typical story. That's why actually I wrote the book. Executing for a startup is hard, and being able to create there are some success stories, but a lot of them are required along the way, and especially kind of the startups that have interesting technology but have trouble to create a business.
Okay, Jean-Claude, my question is, give me a story of a one startup where you made the most money and it was a nice exit for you and for them. Just tell me how much money we are talking about. $1, $1 million, many $1 million, or what?
No, it's $1 million, this kind of thing.
Your portion of the whole startup was $1 million?
Oh no, the whole startup was much more than that.
Okay, your portion was $1 million. How long it took you to take them to that level?
Not kind of a couple of years.
Couple of years. Do they pay you monthly too, or just like everything is the equity?
No, it's both.
It's both.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So from your 10 startups, what's your success ratio? Like a 20%, 30%, 80%, 90%, 100%?
Oh no, the success ratio is more around the 10% or something like that.
Yeah.
9 out of 10
Yeah.
are often not succeeding.
Yeah.
Or
if I have a startup, I want to send it your way because you're probably very good what you do. And what's a typical retainer you charge them?
It depends. There is no typical thing because it really depends on the involvement. And, I think, it can go from, a couple of thousands, to, kind of 15,000, whatever, depending of, kind of the
engagement level. Engagement
level. So the engagement level is very, very variable depending on what
100%. The 2,000 to 15,000, is that a monthly, quarterly, yearly, or one time?
No, it's monthly.
It's monthly. So if someone can send you people for that few thousand to $15,000 for startups, you can't really take many, and you can only take very picky and choosy, like the right fit. You can't help everybody.
That's actually what I enjoy. That's what I kind of I like. I like to work with people I feel comfortable with. I believe in what they do and so on. So it's not like every startup is coming to me and and I work with them. It really depends on what they do, the people, and the people that are the team, which is very important. And if I feel that I can help them or not.
Okay. Okay. Very good. So how many years you have been doing all this? It's very interesting work, very unique.
Well, I work in innovation all my career, but first, from a corporation perspective, and that's why I wrote the book I wrote, kind of last year, and then I created a startup actually inside the corporation, that was a spin-out. And then I was very interested in kind of really explore, this, startup world. And that's why I created to innovate, and I started to to engage directly with startups, and that's what I do right now together with corporation, but as an independent, and I like that. And maybe doing this, it has been 6 or 7 years. I spent all my career initially in a corporation, but from an innovation perspective and new business creation perspective.
Wonderful. That's amazing. Claude, I'm ready to go live.
Okay.
And let me know if you have you seen all of my questions?
Yes, I did.
Any questions on my questions?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, wonderful. If that means we are good, and let's go live. I will start and bring you on a moment, and most of the time you will be on the screen. I will be just talking. I will ask all the questions, one question at a time. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host, Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets, available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Junqua. Claude is an author and founder of CE to Innovate. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Claude. Claude, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Nice talking to you.
Likewise, feeling is mutual. Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Well, I live in Silicon Valley, currently, but originally I am from Europe, from France, and I came to the US when I was in the middle of my PhD. And my background is in speech recognition. And I did my thesis in speech recognition, and more generally in AI. I worked in AI most of my career. Initially, I worked in an industrial lab, from Panasonic, in Santa Barbara, south of California, and I was always interested in technology, but progressively, from a technology point of view, I became interested in really how to apply this technology, how to create new business, and so I still. From a researcher, developing technology, I kind of moved toward kind of the innovations and creating kind of new business opportunity from a business and a customer perspective. During my career, I worked in many different places. I worked in Europe. I worked in Japan. For 3 or 4 years. I worked in the US, and in 2006, I started the activity of innovation of Panasonic in Silicon Valley, and where the idea was to work with startups, university, and so on. And I became very interested in the startup world. I created a startup inside Panasonic, and later on I worked with startup and new business creation in many different worlds. I actually kind of summarize, I would say the learnings and what I did in a book that is kind of beside me, which is kind of related to innovation in corporation and startups. So that's kind of in a nutshell, kind of what I came from.
What are the top 3 reasons why do people fail? What are the top 3 reasons why do people fail?
The interesting questions. I think there are many, but I think if I think about the top 3, at least from my experience, the first one I would say it's really kind of building something that people do not want and not paying enough attention to customer, especially in the initial stage. When I was working in corporation, is often something that was happening, a lot of planning, but not too much interaction with customer, and you end up with something that the customer do not want. So that's, I would say, one of the top kind of mistake. The second one, that can be also very costly. It's really hiring the wrong people, and because it's really, especially when you have a small team, can really set you back. And finally, I think I would say the third one is probably going to market too fast without having a solid product market fit. And then you realize that when you want to scale, you don't have the basis or the solid fit that will allow you to scale quickly. So I would say that's kind of the 3 in my experience that I encounter very, very often.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
Okay, I made many mistakes. So I would say it's related probably to some of the things that I said earlier. It's really kind of hiring the wrong people. It can be really a costly mistake, especially as I said when you have a small team. And how did I recover? It's really by finding replacement, but the problem is that you lose a lot of time, and I lost a lot of time kind of when I did that. So in my experience, I built a number of teams in the past, and that has been a costly mistake.
What are your top 3 success secrets that others can model from?
Okay, so top 3 success secrets. One I think that I discovered along the way, I think it's really to manage uncertainty instead of avoiding it. Uncertainty is present all the time, and there are many different ways to deal with it. And I found that really kind of managing it instead of trying to eliminate it it's often a better strategy. The second one would be, focusing on speed and learning instead of trying to be 100% right. Because, especially large corporations, they want to kind of eliminate, the risk, and they want to be right. And then it takes a lot of time to be able to try to do that. And I found that, focusing on speed and learning instead is often a better strategy. And finally, I would say it's really network. The company I created is called CE to Innovate, which is connect and engage to innovate. And there is a reason. It's because I really believe in connection and engagement to be able to build, your network that will be essential for you to succeed. Because these days, you really need to, to work together, to collaborate, to be able to create new business opportunity, and connecting and engaging for, innovating. I think it's really something that I found was very important.
What motivates you within?
What motivates me within is really to, to solve, challenges and to work with good people. I think that I'm very kind of people oriented, and that's, something that motivates me.
What is your company's motto?
My company motto, as I said, is really connecting and engaging. Connecting and engaging kind of, with people. And I believe, it's all about people, and that's kind of what I focus on.
Who is your ideal client?
My ideal client is often, I would say, kind of, a company, that, don't know exactly kind of, what they are doing, or doubting in terms of their direction, don't know exactly how to position what they do, and that's the people that I like to work with. I am more kind of a person that, is trying to, to explore and to find the right fit, than really kind of a person that, kind of try to operationalize, things.
How do you find your ideal client?
Many different ways. I think networking. I have a large network, and I did a lot of things in my past, in terms of research and innovation, and often people are coming to me. So it's really a combination of inbound and outbound that the network is probably the most important.
How do you engage your ideal client?
It really depends, what they have to do, and the problem that they have. I often kind of initially kind of, listen to them and listen what they want to do. And then, based on my experience, I make suggestions. And, very often it's really about, I like to engage with, the people I work with in a light way initially, to be able to see if there is a fit, and then to go deeper. That's kind of the way that I like to work.
What are your well-defined products or services?
Something that I like to do, actually, it's, as I say, finding a product market fit. And so, things like, customer discovery, customer validation, positioning, that's, and also kind of creating a vision and creating a strategy, so that's kind of the type of thing that I often work with the company.
Why someone should buy from you?
People don't buy from me. People work with me, and people collaborate with me. I think I have experience in a number of different areas, and that's what people are looking for. They are looking for people that did it before, and that's usually why I work with people.
How do you crush, excuse me, how do you crush your competition?
I don't crush competition. I provide a new perspective, and I like to explore, and I like to think out of the box, and that's what I provide to people along with my experience. I would say in a large corporation and startups. Why I wrote the book actually beside me is because there is some really interesting intersection between what you do in a large company and what you do in a smaller company. And I think that a lot of innovation today is happening at the intersection of the large company and the startup, and we are seeing more and more collaboration between the two. And I think that's often what I bring to the table because I've experienced in both, and I understand well the challenges that both type of institution have.
How do you deliver a 5-star client experience?
By being engaged. And basically try to solve problems the way that I would do it if it was my company. So I am a person that likes to solve problems, and I take it the problem that I am working on like if it was my problem and my company.
How do you use your sales proposals to close more deals?
I don't, make sales proposals. People, as I said earlier, people are coming to me kind of often. It's not really, it's often the case. It's not that I'm searching kind of new client or company. Of course, I'm in networks, that kind of, provide, visibility there. But, often, kind of, people are coming to me because they have some problem and they think I can help them based on what I did in the past.
How do you convert your clients into your brand ambassadors?
Well, by doing a good job, and by helping them basically with the problem that they have, and by, kind of creating a good, I would say, win-win situation. Win-win situation is actually, kind of a key, in this type of business.
How do you handle an angry client?
I don't think I had too many angry clients, but I try to understand why. I think curiosity and understanding and listening. It's something that is very important. There is always a why, and I think the key is to try to understand this why. It can come from many different places. It can be from what you did, or maybe something else, and I think that's often the key.
We are about to move into lightning round. That means a quick question and a quick answer. Are you ready?
Okay.
What are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for the people I work with. As I said, I'm a people person, and I'm grateful for all the bright and good people I work with.
How do you start your day?
I start my day by walking my dog. Actually, I like to go outside kind of initially, and that kind of provides kind of a good start of the day for me. And then I go to my email and I start to work. So that's the way that generally I start my day.
How young are you?
I am 63.
So, Jean-Claude, you are not 63. You are 18 years old with 44 years experience.
Oh, that's a good way of putting it. I like it.
What you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be able to, to share my experience. I think I did a lot of things, in my, in a career and, in my life, generally speaking, and I want to be able to share it and to work with, people where I can use it in some ways. Yes. Mm-hmm.
What are your plan to achieve your goal?
I think it's, actually doing what I am doing now, actually, it's really kind of being open, being curious and trying to see where I can fit and continuing exploring and learning.
How will you feel in case you don't achieve your goal?
I will continue to work on it in the sense that, sometimes you don't know when things happen. And I think not giving up and being able to continue, it's something that, I intend to do.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
Actually, this is related to what I said, just earlier. It's really not giving up and continuing. I really believe that, with every problem, there is an opportunity, and I'm looking for the opportunity instead of focusing on the problem.
What is the advice you will give to younger yourself?
I think I would say explore more and faster. I think I learned kind of this as I went through kind of a number of different things. And I think if I had to go back and to rewind, I would do it faster and do more.
Once you have an revenue-generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
I think it's by gathering evidence. I am really a data person, and I think I think it's really kind of trying to gather the data to be able to say, to convince that the idea that I have is a good idea.
Who is your living mentor, and what's the impact?
I think my living mentor is probably Steve Blank, the founder, one of the founder of the Lean startup movement. I think he really changed my way of thinking about new business creation, focusing on the customer and the market from day one. And I think that's probably the one that had the most impact, regarding my career.
Can you please make an introduction to him so I can interview him on my show?
I can try.
I appreciate that. Why being impactful is important to you?
It's important because I am a problem solver, by nature, and I think I like to look for impact and solution. So I like to see often a result or a solution for what I am doing.
What do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be probably remembered for a person that is continuing exploring, learning, and also care about people. I think, as I said some of the questions earlier, that's something that is important to me. So yes.
How can we support you?
You can support me by, as I say, I love to explore, I love to learn. If there's some interesting problem and interesting challenge, where I can help, I would be really happy to talk to the people that have this problem. You may want to read my book and give me feedback and see how bring new perspectives, and that's really what I love, and how you can probably support me, so that I kind of see kind of maybe and explore kind of a new way of doing things as I go forward.
We are about to wrap up. I'd like to have your few words about today's guest experience on the show. Here's my question. What would you say about your today's guest experience on the show?
I love the discussion. I love to talk about this topic, and I like the informal way of that we talk today.
What would you say as a final word?
As my final word, I would say it's all about people. It's all about your customer. It's all about kind of your network, your team, and so we need to take care of them. and we need to really put them first in all what we do.
Thank you so much, Claude, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. Really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, Claude, I appreciate that time very much. Let me say this. You are not as good as you think. You are better.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Thank
based on you shared so far, if you are looking for more startups to have more clients under your belt, we probably can help. And you like to explore that idea, working together?
Yeah, we can. As I said, it really depends what they try to do.
Yeah. We will
definitely.
discuss that one. Let's get on a call. Can we speak at 3 p.m. East Coast? That will be noon time for you.
When?
Today?
Today I cannot. I have a meeting already.
Okay, wonderful.
From 12 to 1. Yeah.
Okay, so let me find some other time today. 12 to 1 you have? Okay, how about 4:30 East Coast? That will be 1:30.
1. Something. I think I have something at 2. Just a second.
We will be done by 2. It won't take more than
so 1:30 is okay. So
Okay.
1:30.
Okay.
But we should be done by 2. Yeah.
100%. No worries.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Okay.
take more time. Okay. 1:30 will be 4:30. Okay. I'm sending you the calendar invite. We will meet on Zoom.
A number of questions that you asked, I think they were fine, but they were not in the question that you sent. So,
Which one?
a number of questions kind of in the middle, were not, questions that you sent, were different. But
These are the different questions which I asked you. Then what I sent in your calendar invite, all the questions in the description field, all the questions are included.
Oh, I see. Because the one that you well, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay. No, I appreciate that. I want to see that where there's missing. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. Speak soon later today. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
हाँ जी, वो कल्ला बंदा है, वो पीटर तो गल पै जाएगा, उसकी तो टीम ही नहीं है ना, कोई भी नहीं है ही नहीं। अब ये काम तो यूसुफ का है। यूसुफ ने कहा जल्दी जल्दी मुंह सीधा करके बैठो, आन मेरी बारी आने लगी है।
ये इस चीज का तभी पता चला ना कि इसको हम डिस्क्वालीफाई इस बेस पे भी कर दी, जो आपने सारा एक्सप्लेन किया। पहले मैं सिर्फ B2B इंडस्ट्री फंड कर रहा था, उसको क्वालीफाई कर रहा।
नहीं तो उसके जो रेंज है, जो सर्च क्राइटेरिया, वो वेरीफाई तो करना होता है ना। 100 से 500 उसके लोग नेटवर्क में नहीं है। अब क्या करें, वो इसको हम अपना क्लाइंट बना लेंगे। उसने आपने लिखा था प्राइस नहीं बता रहा है, मैंने बता दिया ना, $2000 से $15,000 देता महीने की है। मुझे तो पता है, मैं डेटा हो तो देन आई नो व्हाट टू आस्क। मैं तो नहीं छोड़ता बंदे को, मुझे अपनी इंफॉर्मेशन बेसिक चाहिए। बेशक प्री इंटरव्यू में दोबारा करना पड़ जाए, मुझे उसके बगैर मैं बात ही नहीं करूंगा आगे। लेकिन जैसा भी आपसे डेटा लिया आपने, लेकिन मैंने उसकी बेसिस पे अपना मकसद निकलवा लिया ना उससे। ठीक है, वो कहता बड़ी रेंज है ये वो कुछ, मैं खुद ही नंबर डाल देता हूँ। 2000 है, $1 मिलियन है, वो $1 से $1 मिलियन, वो खुद ही फिर बताता है ना। That's like causing them to say something, you know. चलो ओके, कभी बड़ा होएगा, कभी सीख जाएगा, मेरी तो यही दुआ, वरना मैं बुढ़ा हो जाना देर तक। ओके अल्लाह।